It pays to be at the top, and Max Verstappen is at the top of the top. With 2 world championships under his belt and a 5-year contract worth more than $50 million a year, he can't have many complaints. So how does the 26-year-old spend his millions? From vehicles and houses to holidays. Stay tuned as we take you inside Max Verstappen's lavish lifestyle. Let's start with how this young man shot to fame. For young celebrities, sometimes the media attention is too much to handle, and Max Verstappen was definitely young when he was thrust into the spotlight at just 17 years old. He became the youngest driver to compete in Formula One, and soon after, the youngest Grand Prix winner a year later when in his debut race for Red Bull. Since then, the smart money has been on Max Verstappen winning a world championship, and Red Bull were willing to fork that out. After 2 full seasons with the team, Red Bull offered him a 2-year contract extension, raking in a massive $26 million per year for him. That was more than his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, and probably one of the reasons the Australian departed. Red Bull's plans for Max were clear. At the time, Helmut Marko said, "We gave him his first chance in Formula One, and now we want to be, together with Max, the youngest world champion." Since then, he stayed at the center of their strategy, and it's paid off big time. Max didn't quite beat that record, but he has bagged 2 back-to-back Drivers' Championships and a Constructors' Championship this year too. These achievements came with a 5-year new mega deal worth $55 million a year, with a net worth of around $200 million. Max has plenty of cash to burn, so what does he do with it all? First off, living costs. Even for the ultra-wealthy, housing doesn't come free, especially when you choose to live in Monaco, like Max. Known as one of the most expensive places in the world, Monaco is a magnet for athletes, especially F1 drivers. It hosts the most historic race on the calendar, but more importantly, there are no taxes. Still, Max rents an apartment for a whopping $16 million, which features a penthouse overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. For that kind of money, you could buy a home anywhere in the world. But in Monaco, even billionaires live in apartments. In videos posted on his social media accounts, Max often shows off his workout routine with an incredible view. He can also be spotted out on the town with fellow F1 drivers Daniel Ricciardo, local Charles Leclerc, or Lewis Hamilton. Okay, maybe not Lewis Hamilton, but Max is pretty close with the rest of the F1 community in Monaco, and it's pretty big. It's the mecca for current and former drivers, so if you ever want one of their autographs, try to catch them near their homes. Next up, cars. What kind of professional driver wouldn't drop some money on a nice car? When Verstappen was first signed to drive the Toro Rosso in 2015, he didn't even have a normal driver's license, but now that he has one, he's taking full advantage. Verstappen's car collection is already worth more than $6 million and includes a Ferrari Monza SP2, a Renault RS, a Porsche 911 GR3 RS, and 4 Aston Martins. That's a different car for every day of the week, but that's not all. The crown jewel of his collection is a hypercar designed by Adrian Newey, the Aston Martin Valkyrie, with a top speed of over 200 miles per hour and a power-to-weight ratio that rivals professional sports cars. It's just about as close as Max can get to F1 while staying street legal. But let's hope that the Valkyrie was a gift from his employers, because the price tag was a whopping $2.7 million. And don't tell Red Bull, but Max also owns a Mercedes-Benz C63 S-AMG. How does that Mercedes power feel underneath you, Max? For so long, he must have wondered. Moving on to another mode of transportation, what does he use to scoot around? If you've been to any European city recently, you'll know that there's a new trendy form of transportation. Instead of bicycles these days, plenty of city dwellers prefer to zoom around the streets on electric scooters. And in Monaco, Verstappen gets around on a customized Xiaomi M365 scooter, which has a top speed of almost 30 kilometers an hour. Sure, that's nothing compared to the 300 kilometers an hour that he reaches in his Formula One car, but it's a lot for a little electric vehicle. Alongside that, Red Bull has worked hard to develop its very own electric scooter, and in true Red Bull style, they pulled out all the stops. The RBS number 01 is made out of lightweight carbon fiber and has wheels inspired by their F1 car, which can reach up to 45 kilometers an hour. It costs $6,000, a little more than Max's Xiaomi, but Red Bull promises that it's the most advanced in the world. Is there anything Red Bull won't manufacture? Up next, why did Verstappen's living room set upset him back more than $30,000? And you won't believe how much his new pets cost him. so don't go anywhere. Moving on, Max flies in style. With 24 races set for the 2023 season, flying is a big part of an F1 driver's life. In fact, Niki Lauda once purchased an entire airline because of how often he was traveling. These days, all the top guys travel by private jet. That's why Max has splurged $16 million on a Dassault Falcon 900EX private jet to get him around from race to race in comfort. And it's not just any jet, it's a plane that was previously owned by Virgin billionaire Richard Branson. With this addition, he truly became the Flying Dutchman. Flight trackers showed that Max took the jet between every single race in the Formula One season. Unlike smaller private jets, the Dassault Falcon 900EX can fly up to 8,000 kilometers in a single trip. It's 10,000 kilometers between Monaco and Singapore, so Max's plane can almost take him to the Asian leg of F1 without a refuel. The cost to maintain it was around $2 million a year, but for the multimillionaire, it's definitely worth it. The jet even has a private bar and 12 seats for his entourage. It's not a bad time to be friends with Max. Next up, on the water. Max lives for speed, and if he's not speeding on the road or through the air, then you might find him out on the water. He's purchased a personalized Red Bull jet ski that costs around $20,000 to keep him amused around Monaco, and matches perfectly with his $6 million 120-foot yacht named Bagheera. It might be small compared to some of the super yachts parked at the Monaco harbor, but Verstappen's ride is nothing to sneeze at. Bagheera is the perfect place for Max to entertain guests when Monaco is too crowded. It has an infinity jacuzzi, a bar, bathrooms, and a lounge that can hold up to 9 people. That's more than enough space to keep his entourage entertained. And if you want to experience a taste of Verstappen's lifestyle for yourself, you can, but it will cost you. Renting the model yacht that Max has will set you back a cool $100,000 a week. And now, holidaying. For Max Verstappen, it's work hard, play hard. During the season, he is laser-focused on winning every single race. Even though his work life is spent traveling from place to place, he still enjoys taking an exotic vacation from time to time. When he has some time off, he likes to travel around with his loved ones, and there's no one he loves more than his girlfriend, Kelly Piquet. After a dramatic title win last year, Verstappen rewarded himself with a trip to South America that included visiting Kelly Piquet's father, 3-time world champion Nelson Piquet. And just this summer, before he secured the 2022 World Championship, Max and Kelly took some time off on the Dutch island of Sint Maarten. Verstappen posted holiday snaps of the two together on Instagram, where he was enjoying the last few days of the mid-season break. Enjoy, Max. You've earned it. Another thought, staying in. What does Max Verstappen do to keep himself entertained inside his Monaco apartment? Well, it might not surprise you that even when Max isn't working, he's driving. In his living room, he has a top-of-the-line sim racer that is as immersive as you can get aside from driving in a real race car. He has a Playseat F1 Ultimate cockpit, a Precision Slim Engineering steering wheel, Husingveld Ultimate pedals, and a Leo Bodner sim steering system. The seat alone costs $2,800, and altogether the setup is worth close to $35,000. For that kind of money, you could put a real car inside your living room. Next up, pets. Something you might not expect an F1 superstar to spend their money on is pets. But last year, Max added 2 members to his Monaco household. They are 2 Bengal cats, which he named Jimmy and Sass. During a sim racing event last year, one of the cats crawled near his pedals and knocked things off the desk. It's a good thing he doesn't take them with him in the cockpit. He'd never win a race. But they can be forgiven for how cute they are, which are adorable brown and black felines. These can cost up to $3,000 each. What would you buy if you had Max Verstappen's money? And is he really worth $55 million a year? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more F1 videos.